You know what? One thing I think a lot of people fail to realize, and I know I'm going to take a lot of flack for this, for saying this, so but I don't care.
Uh-oh.
The media is responsible. I think the media is more responsible for this Kyle Rittenhouse situation than anything else. Because
yes,
if they hadn't lied about the Jacob Blake situation, then you wouldn't have Kyle Rittenhouse. Jacob Blake had a knife. Yes. He had a warrant. He fought the cops. The shooting was justified. All of that, right?
Where people felt the pain of what occurred in the evenings leading up to Rittenhouse shooting folks. It started with the shooting of a black man by a white police officer, which led to
your office not prosecuting it because it was justified as stated by your office.
A black man armed with a knife resisting lawful arrest, climbing into a car full of children.
Climbing into
leave that out the context. That's fine.
Climbing into a car that he didn't own, that he had express
what does that have to do with anything?
For children he didn't have a right to have in that car in the first
with
place.
a knife in his hand,
and an order for protection against him from the mother, and I think a felony assault warrant out.
But otherwise, it was Jacob, Mother Teresa Blake climbing into that car.
The most dangerous pandemic's propaganda from these clowns. Only mask that's gonna save us is duct tape on their mouths.
The media, instead of waiting 24 hours to verify, guess what? His wife was the one that called. Guess what? He had a felony warrant. Guess what? He had a knife. Guess what? He wrestled with cops. They tried to use tasers. They tried to use all this. They wrestled him down. And then when they pointed guns and said, put the knife down, he reached into the car. Now, as an officer, do you want the officer to see what he's going to pull out that car after being pointed with guns? Stop. Free. Of course not. So he was totally cleared. But the media, when they first said this, they showed the video, said he was shot in the back, and it made this big fuss, canceling NBA games, for instance. All this stuff happened, right? All this stuff happened. And it was the whole narrative was false. Then you have people now get up arms thinking, rightfully so, that if Jacob Blake was just shot in the back indiscriminately for being black, I would be out there protesting. And I'm assuming Nick would be too, right? If the cops are out there indiscriminately shooting people in the back for no reason, right? Then you got a different story. That's what
I wouldn't be out protesting because I don't
do that.
What I
mean?
But I would be speaking about it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like that's the whole deal. You and I get the luxury of not necessarily having to protest, right? Because we have
audiences.
Look, right now we've got 2,600 people